All right, guys, welcome back to another video. Lots to talk about as usual. We'll start off talking about Xbox and them reaching out to developers and asking why they aren't prioritizing Xbox. There's been Starfield reviews. We have some more information about Baldur's Gate and when the next game from Larian is going to be coming out. Nintendo is out there again shutting down emulators. So lots of things to get into. But if you do enjoy daily gaming news and content, hit the like, subscribe, check out the link to my Spotify in the description below, and also share the video around. Just helps get the word out there. By the time you're watching this, I may have hit my 20K goal of subscribers. So that's pretty cool. And that's all because of you guys supporting the channel. So I do appreciate that. But we will start off here and talk about Xbox reaching out to developers, asking them why some games are missing Xbox. We've seen the controversies over the last few months or so, specifically with indies who have cited bad communication with the ID at Xbox team, where they haven't been responding to emails that they've sent out in order to get those games published onto the store. We've seen Anatria, the last song that is like a Souls-like game, where they put out their social media post, which absolutely blew up, and it had to do with them not getting communication back from ID at Xbox. And then there was that other game, Hack, which was the same situation. So obviously there is sometimes indie games communications between Xbox and the developers falling through the cracks, which is clearly an issue. And you don't want to miss out on games because of just mere miscommunication. But there's got to be other reasons as well, because you're seeing some games prioritize other platforms, PlayStation stuff, over the Xbox platform. So they say here, a new program, much like Microsoft's Xbox Insider one, is now open to all members of game studios, not just technical employees. And they say, typically it takes a lot of people to make and ship a game, including marketing, user research, artists, audio, PMs, community managers, and more. And that the program will gather feedback about tools, performance tuning, debugging utilities, and plenty of other aspects of game development. It's also designed for input from game studios that aren't shipping games on Xbox. They say, if you aren't on Xbox, we'd love to know why. And honestly, if you are using our competitors' products, you probably have a great perspective that we could learn from. So they are reaching out, and they're basically just asking, hey, why is your game not here? Is it because of the tools that are available? Is it harder to develop for Xbox? Is it because you think your game is not going to be supported on the platform? A lot of people are arguing that basically developers are looking at Xbox and they're promoting things like the Fire Stick, so why would they want to put their games on the Xbox console? I mean, there's so many different reasons you could come to as to why a game wouldn't end up on the Xbox platform, and I think that's kind of what they are trying to get at here. We've seen things like Capcom, a couple of the fighting compilations that they put out that are going to be coming to Xbox now. They were able to work out the technical issues, but that would have been one of those reasonings as to why it wasn't on Xbox initially. It was because of the pipeline and the technical issues to get it onto the platform itself. So hopefully this program does help them free up some more resources in order to actually make sure games land on the platform and don't miss it on day one, and any behind the scenes issues that are falling through the cracks get fixed before a game does get announced. And then you have this whole uproar on social media about the game missing Xbox and all of this type of stuff. Hopefully this will help them work all of those things out. But of course, they need to improve on some of these processes to make sure that the games don't miss the platform. Now, just as a PSA, if you're still playing these games, you're not going to be able to play them anymore online, at least starting in November of 2024. They say November brings another round of Xbox server closures for players to tackle. And here are the closures coming. November 4th will be FIFA 22. November 4th as well, FIFA 22 on the Xbox One. November 7th will bring Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 on the Xbox 360, Battlefield Hardline on the Xbox 360. And then November 7th as well will bring NBA Live 18 servers will be shut down. I don't know how many people are actually still playing any of these games, especially on the Xbox 360, but it would be pretty interesting to log into like Battlefield 4 on 360 and see if you can actually get in there and play them, and maybe even jump into like a lobby or something. But that is the games that are shutting down here. They will go dark and you won't be able to play them anymore. I don't know if that's a big deal for most people out there. All right, we have some more information here about the canceled Halo Battle Royale game mode. This was supposed to be Project Tatanka, and I thought it was actually a decent idea back when they were first talking about it. I think they've missed the boat now. Like if they were to come out with a Halo BR game next year, I feel like it's too late. I don't know how well it would do. But I'm not a big Battle Royale fan, but I think Halo could have actually been cool. So unfortunately, the game and the project did get canceled, but we have some more information here on what they were kind of trying to go with here and what was going on behind the scenes with Project Tatanka. It says here that many fans were excited about the prospect of Halo's Battle Royale title, including some prolific streamers with a penchant for first-person shooters. Unfortunately, all signs point to 343 Industries having canceled the project, capping it to work on bigger and better things for the series. And in a post on social media that accompanied an exclusive YouTube report, creator Rebs Gaming has spotted key Halo-related details in the past, listed a bunch of details tied to the Halo Battle Royale game. Now, one of the things that is interesting is he says here that this game is actually being play-tested weekly by 343 Industries, and that players would drop into a map on the Zeta Halo ring made up of multiple fragments, and then they'd get there through an ODST style drop pod system. And as players explore the map, they pick up power items, equipment, and shields, all while completing mini objectives. And as the game unraveled, Pelicans would fly over and drop off vehicles, warthogs, mongooses, falcons, and the like. So it's kind of just an idea as to, if you're wondering what this game was going to be about, exactly what was going on there. This isn't surprising. In my mind, this is kind of what I thought was going to be like. Like, obviously, Halo with all of the different weapons and power-ups and vehicles just naturally makes a good idea for Battle Royale, because you're going to have that stuff spread all over the map, and it's just going to be chaos, as it is sometimes with Halo multiplayer games. So that part sounded very, very fun to me, and it sounds like they were also going to add in different objectives, so you weren't just sitting still trying to take out the other players. You're going to have to complete things as you're going through the match, which what I need in a BR game is stuff like that, because I get bored just sitting around scoping, looking around for players to come by. Maybe I'm just terrible at BR games, which is more than likely correct, but I do find myself getting bored in them. But if there's something to do on the side, those are the ones I kind of gravitate more towards. So that's a little insight, I guess, if you were ever interested in Project Tatanka. And I wonder what the next step here is for the Halo franchise, for the Halo series. As Halo Infinite is probably winding down at this point, once they stopped the entire seasons thing and they were just going with the operations. That to me was the hint that they are starting to slowly wind down Halo Infinite to start ramping up production on the next project. You have to ask yourself, is the next project a mainline Halo game? Is it a spin-off? What exactly is it going to be? And when will we eventually end up seeing that? Okay, let's talk Starfield, and specifically Starfield Shattered Space, because right now it is not looking very good for the DLC. Now, this is a DLC I've been looking forward to. I've jumped in, played, let's say 3-4 hours of it so far, and I'm enjoying myself. I don't have a verdict as to what I fully think about it. I'll have to finish the main quest line before I do that, but I've had fun exploring. I've had fun going through the first couple of missions and talking to the characters and stuff, and nothing that has blown me away. Like, I think it's the best DLC ever or anything, but it's decent. It's decent right now, and I'm happy to continue to play through it. I am going to end up finishing it, but there seems to be a lot of divisiveness amongst people who have played this game. A lot of people just absolutely hate it. And then you also have other people there that are just loving the heck out of it, which is exactly what happened with the main game. So this isn't that surprising here to see this, but right now it's sitting very low on the critic scores. Now, to be fair, while doing this, there's only 4 critic reviews, and that may uptick. I mean, they may really boost the score later if more people come in with higher scores, or maybe people come in with even lower scores. But we've seen it all over the board. You've had Xbox Era give it like a 90. You've had pure Xbox give it a 50. So even Xbox sites are divided on what they think about this game. It will be interesting to see the discussion Shattered Space does bring up by the time more reviews come in, more people play it. But I would love to know in the comments below what you think so far about Shattered Space, if you have jumped in and played the game. Now let's talk Palworld, because Palworld, we know they're being sued by Nintendo, and they're just soldiering on. They're still releasing the game on PlayStation, except for in Japan, because that's where they're being sued. And now they're releasing the game on mobile, which I think is going to be a very smart move for them to just generate a ton of revenue. I mean, they're still able to go out there, release this game, make a ton of money, as they're going to go through the whole legal process, because that's probably going to take a while. So they probably are thinking, we got to make as much money as possible in case we lose, or even if we win, all of the legal fees and everything that we were going to have to pay. So it's going to mobile here, and they're teamed up with PUBG's Krafton. They say to do this, even though the Nintendo lawsuit is brewing. And specifically, they say the Pocket Pair is working with Krafton, the publisher behind the highly popular Battle Royale shooter PUBG Battlegrounds, and Krafton will handle the process of making the mobile port. Notably, this team co-developed the mobile version of PUBG that released in 2018. I think this game is perfect for mobile. It just will absolutely fit in there, especially if they have some good controls. And even if you just attach a controller, it'll explode. Like, this game is going to be huge. They're going to make tons of money off of mobile. So that is a very smart thing. But all interesting when you sit back and really think about it, the fact that they're being sued by Nintendo, and the future of this game is right now still up in the air until we see exactly what does happen with that lawsuit. And Nintendo wins lots of their lawsuits. They're very good at it. And we have some more information here about another thing here that's being shut down, not because they're being sued, but probably we're on the brink of being sued. So they decided to just close it down. And that is Ryujinx, which is the Switch emulator that people previously, I thought it was immune to any of this type of stuff. When we saw that they had sued and closed down Yuzu, when Nintendo was going after them, people were like, well, you could just use Ryujinx and no problem. And this one will be immune to Nintendo's wrath. And that is not the case. So it says here, this is a post that they have up here. They wrote this in Discord, and they say, yesterday, GDK-chan was contacted by Nintendo and offered an agreement to stop working on the project, remove the organization and all related assets he's in control of. While awaiting confirmation on whether he would take this agreement, the organization has been removed, so I think it's safe to say what the outcome is. Rather than leave you with the only panic and speculation, I decided to write this short message to give some closure. These words are my own. I don't want to speak for anyone else here, so just remember that while reading, thank you to everyone who has contributed code documentation or issue reports for the project. Thank you all for following us throughout the development. I was able to learn a lot, really neat things about games that I love, enjoy them with renewed qualities and unique circumstances, and I'm sure you all have experience that are similarly special. I'm extending my own massive thanks to our moderation team who have been through some rough circumstances and always found ways to make light of it. And then they go on to talk about how they had an iOS working port that just wasn't ready to be released because of issues, as well as an Android one. So they were continuing to want to expand all of this out, but Nintendo contacted them, probably offered something in return for shutting down, or offered a very stern notice that, hey, if you don't shut this down, we will be coming after you, and that will be far worse for you than just getting out now. But it is now been shut down. So Nintendo is on a tear right now, going after everyone and everything that they believe will be hurting them. And we'll see what happens going forward again with the Palworld thing. And if they continue to go after more people, all this is just in advance of whenever we're going to hear about the Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe they just want to make sure that nothing gets in the way of the most successful launch of the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's talk here, just some more things here to go down the list here. Until Dawn gameplay has leaked ahead of its release. As we know, Until Dawn is making its comeback, PS5 and PC, and there's been a major leak for it. It released on October 4th, so tomorrow. But if you do want to check it out, apparently there is a massive chunk of the game that has been posted online. They say here that the opening hours of the title were streamed on Twitch several days before the remake is due to hit the PS5 and PC in October. And now, the thing with a game like this, if you are leaking the footage of it, I think it has a far bigger effect than a far more gameplay-oriented game, because this is really just one of those like movie games, narrative-style games. And once you've seen it, yeah, there's different choices and stuff, but once you've seen a lot of the footage, is it really that big of a point in playing it? I've never played this one, but I think that will have a bigger effect than other games that do get leaked early. Level 5 CEOs hinting that Nintendo has convinced them to agree to another Professor Layton game. So if you're a fan of those games, looks like another one will be coming back. This is during a discussion where it was explained that he felt the Professor Layton series has reached a beautiful conclusion with the last game, Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy, and in which details of Layton's past are revealed, and the 6th game story comes full circle at the end. As such, Hino said he was worried about making a new game in the series, given how well it had landed. However, his mind changed eventually. Certain individuals from the industry really wanted us to release a new game, and specifically said the company had a strong push coming from Company N, which appears to be Nintendo. So the 7th game, Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, is currently in development for the Switch and is set to release in 2025. So you can thank Nintendo for that, as they were not planning on making a brand new one. If you are a fan of the Professor Layton games. We have the first reviews here for Silent Hill 2 and Metaphor ReFantazio, both looking phenomenal. The one I'm more excited for is Metaphor ReFantazio right now. From Famitsu, it's sitting at 37 out of 40, and Silent Hill 2 is sitting at a 35 out of 40. Of course, Silent Hill is, I believe, for a year exclusive to the PlayStation 5 and PC, and hopefully it comes on to Xbox after that. But again, another one of those money had games by Sony that was probably money had a long time ago, and they are going to be able to get this on October 8th. Metaphor comes out on October 11th. There's a very long demo. If you haven't checked it out yet and you're interested in this game, don't even look at the reviews, just go play the demo, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised about how fun and interesting, how good the battle mechanics are in that game. It is looking and shaping up to be one of the better games this year. And finally, Baldur's Gate 3. If you are wondering when the next game from Larian is coming out, it may not be coming out till 2028, 2029, but they don't want to be held to that. Larian studio head Sven Vink suggested this during the acceptance speech at the awards ceremony in Malaysia, the SEA Game Awards 2024, where they said you could expect the next game in 2028 or 2029. But then when asked about this, kind of pedaled a little bit, and asked not to be held to that date. IGN spoke with him after, and he says, "I knew you'd pick up on that. It was just a joke. I don't know. We'll release it when it's ready. They're big games and it takes time, so don't hold us to that date." So there you have it. I mean, it takes a long time to make these games, and I think they did a really good job with the whole release process of it, with the early access and stuff, and I'm sure they'll do the same thing for the next game. So you're looking forward to Larian and a new game coming into the series. There's no point in looking forward to it for a very long time. And I mean, right now, Baldur's Gate 3 is obviously still phenomenal. But I will end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.